So one of my favorite events is finally seeing a return over here to Grand Cross, and again, this is a great event for a lot of people that have, less time on their hands, and they're like, you know what, I want to do half the effort and get double the rewards in some sort of way. Today, we're talking about the Double Drops event, which is almost here, what the best bird teams are. I will try my best to compile as many as I possibly can in this video so that you have an idea of what you should build and how you should progress on to beating the bird, okay? With that, let's jump into this. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's talk about the best bird teams possible. So again, spoiler alert, before I even start this video, I will share with you my favorite bird team, and this is the one that I made a video on previous to it. I will try to leave a link down below, or you can just search my channel for it, you'll find it. But basically, it is the fastest bird team in my opinion. I hit a nice, quick 12-minute run with this. You can get that down too. The fastest I've seen people do that is like 11 minutes, right? But it is possible, and it is a very, very fast team, right? So basically, you can push a quick 100, plus nice win sources if you're actually farming consistently with this team. It is a very strong team, and I've never really had many problems with it. Maybe if you just mess up some RNG, you might run into some issues, but not even no. With the bird, no, there's no RNG issues. Later when you get a skull and hottie, that's where the issues kick in. But for the bird nowadays, with all the units that I've released, there's no RNG problems. So my favorite team is the one on screen right now. And again, I do a video separately where I show that off and break that team down basically. But again, it's Gother, Magilda, Freya, and then Escanor. Or I swap out Freya for Melly because you need Power Strike. So I do that way. But rather, yeah, you know what I mean. So that's the way I go about it, but that is probably my favorite team, and that's the one that I do recommend at the highest extent. If you have that team, please go and use it. If you don't have that team, I got some alternatives for you here today, but that is, if you want the fastest possible team, you want the fastest, quickest, easiest clears, that's what I use, and that's my favorite one. So after whatever bird farming I've done, that is the team I farm with. That's the one that I'll always push as the best one. So try your best to level those units up. You do need Gother's Relic though, so that's a problem. You do need Magilda's Relic. You should know that though. And the other two, you can swap them out for other characters. I'll give you the alternatives. All of them are attack crit, keep that in mind. But that is one of the first teams, really good, solid, and consistent. So next teams, let's jump into those. Okay, next team. This works, though if you have Magilda, you don't need this team. If you don't have Magilda and you want to get to earn Magilda, use this team. Though when I ran it, I used, what's not Magilda? I used Margaret's Relic. Now, without the Relic, you're probably going to lose out a little bit of damage. Though I think it's fine without the Relic. You can definitely try it. But when I ran this, I did not use her Relic. Or I did use her Relic, and it did really good. It really did good on clearing. I personally really like the team. It's basically just attack crit on all of them. I ran 8. You have to run HP defense on him though. So Tarmy needs it. It's a good team. It'll get the job done, though the thing is, it's not the best team. So it's not gonna give you the fastest clears. It's just a Magilda list option, and this is the only Magilda list option that I actually liked. So this is the only one that I'll ever recommend. The only one that I'll ever recommend, because it's the only one that worked for me. First try, second try, and third try. There was no RNG that could have killed me. It was consistent. So this is the Magilda list one, but it's there. My other one that I personally really liked also includes Freya, which is a very limited unit for a lot of people. So if you have this team, you can formulate some good stuff here. It's very strong. It gets a lot of buffs. She does do good damage, though she's missing one Ragnarok character filling out her passive fully. But still, a very strong team and a very good one. Does enough damage, gets you through most of the stages, so you don't have to really worry about too much there. Again, I do recommend you stay consistent in this team comp. You can swap a few characters here and there, but I still think that this is good. Though, again, where your alternatives kick in, run a team like this, okay? The one that I mentioned was the best one. Now, where the alternatives go is you can remove this for regular Escanor. You can remove this for Rem. You can remove this for Freya. You can remove this for really anybody that's the DPS that can do enough damage for you. You can remove this for Green Arthur. You can remove this, theoretically, for other Green Gother and just use rank ups, though not my cup of tea. You can also remove this for Freya, right? So the big alternative to this team is removing Gother for just Freya, because he already gives you enough stats too. You're not going to get as much stats, yeah, but still, whatever he gives, he also has some DPS to him, which is pretty good. But my favorite team is this one, 100%, no doubt. This is the favorite one. But again, if you don't want the buffs, you want more damage, go for Brunhild. Green Brunhild, swap out Gother there for that. great freaking team. Again, Deanne, if you have Fez Deanne and you're taking too much damage, use her for a taunt or whatever. If you have Red Matrona, use her for a taunt. All those can be kind of cycled in here to replace some units in this team and to like stack it out, if you will. Oh yeah, I had forgotten. So this was a team that I also ran. I replaced this Trader Melee with Purgatory Melee, right? So if you have Purgatory Melee, that can also kind of work out to where you can get some decent clears. Though again, if you want the fastest clear, I think this team will formulate to be that. Again, your options: Green Arthur, remove for Freya. Those give enough buffs and can actually help you out. You then remove this if you need like a DPS. So I would try your best to keep this consistent, though I see people wanted to swap him out constantly. But basically, if you need, Brunhild is there. She'll be very, very good for you. Deanne is there, she does damage, and she has a taunt, keeps you alive a little bit, right? That's there. You also have, again, as mentioned, Purgatory Melee if you don't have Trader Melee. You have Rem, which is a really good damage dealer too. You do have Milim. I really haven't seen her that much on this content, but she is pretty good for damage, right? So anybody that just does raw DPS, you can literally just use them here, and you can formulate a team. You can also just run some sort of variant with Freya. Freya's really good too. Again, if you have none of these characters, kind of sucks, but Brunhild, these are free-to-play options you definitely had. There was once upon a time, Griamore was good for this. That changed real fast, but he was good for a fat 1 update, 2-3 days. 5? I don't even know how many. And again, as mentioned, if you want a more free-to-play friendly team versus what I showed you before with the Ultimate Escanor team, you can swap to regular Escanor. You can do that too. He is still just as good. His Death Ultimate is what's going to help you on that stage, that floor 2, stage 2, right? Where you need the Death Ultimate to kick off. So that's also there. If you have Cusack, you can run some sort of demon team, or run Trader Melee, Cusack, Magilda, and then just a 4th unit, either a DPS or a buff one. But Cusack is also very helpful for this if you have him, and you use that Cusack team. You will also see some similar speed and how you complete the content pretty fast, like the Gother team. But this works too. Super free-to-play friendly. Just Melee's a little bit hard to obtain in comparison, but still, he's returned like 5 times, 6 times. You had plenty of opportunities to pull him, so I will say that you at least have him. So free-to-play option, this is damn great. This is what I originally used prior to getting Ultimate Escanor. It's just Ultimate Escanor has made it so much better because that death damage can bypass the entire idea of damage cap, and because of that, you finish the content much faster. But this works too. Card set doesn't really matter, and every team that I showed you here today, right? Everyone will run attack crit, but the buff character, whoever the buff was, has to run HP defense because they most likely will get targeted constantly, okay? Fez Deanne, she'll get targeted. You gotta run HP defense. Green Arthur, you gotta run HP defense. Fez Gother, you gotta run HP defense. All of them run on that, and they can survive and be able to tank those hits. Red Tarmiel is a link you can use, though you can use Blue Tarmiel and whatever else. The rest of the links, Sariel is what you're gonna use for damage. If you have Mael's link, throw that on too. Get a little bit extra damage on the side there, 20% on whichever character you want. Again, Magilda's team, a formation of a team with Freya, this team, but just change out some of the characters. Brunhild, Escanor, Ultimate Escanor, Purgatory Melee, this Melee, Sariel can kind of work. What is it? Deanne, Gother, Freya, those all work. Anything. You can also run just Freya here, keep the same team comp. Yes, you lose out on the 2 damages or buffs from the Ragnarok side, but still, it can kind of work. Just bring a DPS, bring a buff, bring Magilda, bring a Power Strike, or a Amplify in Melee's case, you're good to go. So again, that's basically it. The event will drop in like 3 days. So, and you only have 7 days to farm. So dedicate 2 days for bird, 2 days for deer, and then 3 days for whichever one you need, which is probably Skull and Hottie on the last one, and boom, you're good to go. Move about your day, and you're done. Math failed me there. No, it didn't. 7 days, perfect. But maintenance day might be a little iffy, but still, math didn't fail me.